Spotting patterns, how machine learning enhances fraud detection. Fraud detection is no longer just about reacting to incidents. It's about predicting and preventing them before they escalate. At the heart of this proactive approach is machine learning, or ML, a powerful tool that enables systems to spot patterns and anomalies in ways humans simply cannot. To understand how ML fits into fraud detection, think of it as an always-on, highly intelligent assistant that never gets tired or misses a detail, tirelessly combing through mountains of data for the tiniest red flags. Imagine a bustling airport. Security personnel can only check a limited number of passengers thoroughly, relying on basic profiling or random checks to catch suspicious activities. Now imagine if there were an AI-powered system, scanning the crowd, analyzing behaviors, flagging anomalies, and notifying agents in real time. That's essentially how ML enhances fraud detection. It doesn't replace traditional methods, but amplifies their effectiveness by working smarter and faster. Machine learning's role in understanding patterns. Machine learning algorithms excel at recognizing patterns in data, patterns that often go unnoticed in traditional rule-based systems. For instance, a rule might flag transactions over a certain dollar amount or coming from a high-risk region. However, fraudsters adapt quickly. They learn to stay under thresholds, use stolen data from safe locations, or mimic legitimate activity to avoid detection. Machine learning thrives in this gray area by spotting the subtle inconsistencies that indicate something isn't quite right. It might notice, for example, that a user typically spends small amounts in a specific category, but suddenly they're making large purchases in another. It could detect that while an account's IP address looks normal, that the time zone in the login metadata doesn't match the user's usual patterns. What makes ML so powerful is its ability to analyze vast amounts of data in real time, especially when paired with the streaming technologies and tools like webhooks and WebSockets we've discussed before. This isn't just about flagging, bank monitoring transactions. A single transaction might not look suspicious on its own, but machine learning algorithms might identify that it fits into a broader pattern, repeated purchases in quick succession from the same vendor across multiple accounts, potentially pointing to a coordinated attack. Real-world anomaly detection. One of the most impactful ways machine learning enhances fraud detection is through anomaly detection. Rather than relying solely on preset rules, machine learning models are trained on historical data to learn what normal looks like for a given user, for their account, or system. They then flag anything that deviates significantly from this baseline. For example, if an executive consistently logs in from New York, but suddenly their account is accessed from multiple locations across Europe within an hour, a machine learning model would identify this as unusual and alert the appropriate teams. Let's take a step back and think about this in simpler terms. Imagine managing a warehouse with thousands of items moving in and out daily. If you relied on manual checks, you'd only catch discrepancies occasionally. But with machine learning, it's like having a system that notices if 10 extra boxes of the same product suddenly leave at odd hours. Even if those boxes aren't flagged by any predefined rule, the system doesn't need someone to tell it what to look for. It learns from what it's seen before and knows when something doesn't match. Practical examples of machine learning in fraud detection. Case studies in fraud detection highlight the tangible benefits of machine learning in action. For example, a global e-commerce platform implemented machine learning to combat account takeovers, which are a major source of fraud. Traditional methods couldn't keep up with the scale or speed of these attacks. By deploying a machine learning model trained on login patterns, purchasing behavior, and geographic data, they reduced fraudulent transactions by over 60% within months. Similarly, a financial institution used machine learning to analyze transactions metadata and identify subtle correlations, such as the same device being used across multiple accounts. While machine learning is undeniably powerful, it's important to note that it's not a magic bullet. These systems need quality data to function effectively, and they are complicated to set up. This is where previously covered topics like streaming, WebSockets, and webhooks can come into play. They ensure that machine learning models have the real-time data they need to identify anomalies. Without a steady flow of clean, structured data, even the most sophisticated algorithms won't perform well without a significant amount of data engineering consulting services. Scaling fraud detection with machine learning. For executives, the takeaway is simple. Machine learning isn't about replacing your fraud prevention team. It's about supercharging their efforts and giving them tangible tools. It's the difference between using a flashlight in a dark room and flipping on the floodlights. Machine learning provides the clarity and scale needed to protect against modern fraud, adapting to new threats faster than any human team could on its own. By investing in these technologies and integrating them into your existing systems, you create a proactive, resilient approach to fraud that keeps your business ahead of bad actors. Why machine learning is the present, not the future. This isn't the future of fraud detection, it's the present. The question isn't whether you should use machine learning, it's how soon you can get started. The tools and techniques are accessible, scalable, and ready to be implemented. With machine learning in your fraud prevention strategy, you're no longer just reacting to fraud, you're staying ahead of it. By pairing machine learning with robust data infrastructure, such as the streaming and real-time capabilities of WebSockets and webhooks, you can build a system that's always learning, adapting, and protecting. The result? Strong fraud prevention, smarter business operations, and peace of mind knowing your systems are equipped to handle the evolving threat landscape.